Growing up, I had dreams and aspirations, but always felt like the kid that didn't fit in. For the most part, I wasn't a bad kid, but when I made the transition into adulthood, I turned to the streets for guidance. This led to getting locked up in juvenile hall, doing time in CYA, and eventually a 120-month sentence in federal prison. I had a lot of time to think and reflect during my federal sentence, so I share with you what I learned, hoping I can positively influence someone else's life with Prison Talk. What's up? Big Herc 916, getting down fresh out. You know we do it over here. I had a question from one of our viewers about shot callers in prison and how do they become a shot caller and what do they look like? Well, a shot caller's journey in prison, there is no set path. The people that become shot callers in prison are usually chosen by other inmates who have put this person there because of their character, because of how they carry themselves, and what they've done to get to that point. California state prisons, depending on what prisons these people have been to, has a lot to substantiate this person's position in the gang they're in, and that lends itself to that person's position in prison for them to be a shot caller. It doesn't really have a lot to do with what you did on the street, because shot caller in prison is because of your prison accolades. But one thing assured is that the shot callers in prison, they aren't big talkers. They're not the loudest dude on the compound. They're not the guy who's hoorahing or the guy who's doing the most. They're pretty quiet. They're very intelligent. They probably spend a lot of time in the shoe. They've read a lot of books on everything from psychology to war. They're diplomatic. They know how to solve problems. They deal with situations in an intellectual manner before they go to violence. These people they're calculating. They're not somebody who's quick to take off or somebody who's gonna do something that can compromise their group. They first rationalize the best choice to make before they act. Very smart people. I'm not gonna sit here and say I've had an interaction with a lot of shot callers, but I've been around some high-powered people, and they don't even consider themselves. They're not gonna say, hey, I'm a shot caller. The only reason you know about somebody who's a shot caller is usually through somebody else. Because when you sit down with somebody and they happen to be in that position, they're not gonna acknowledge that position, because it puts them in a situation with the guards, with other inmates. On their jacket, that means that they can't go to certain yards because of their high power status. They're not running around, hey, I'm the shot caller, what's up, man? No, they're quiet and nondescript as far as in their behavior. One of the most powerful dudes I remember I met, who was a shot caller for a particular group of individuals, he was super quiet, didn't even really talk, didn't talk loud at all. You would have to lean into him to even hear what he had to say. Probably about 5'5", 135 pounds, didn't walk around with a shirt off, wore glasses, was very cordial, very his mannerism was very proper. Man, next level type dude, man. Spent a lot of time in Pelican Bay in the shoe. Had been around a lot of other high-powered dudes, and I only knew this because of, what I heard. But when I did interact briefly, just passing, very, what's up, quiet, wasn't a whole lot of conversation, and he knew how to move the crowd. And people like that don't talk to everybody anyways, because they only have maybe one point of contact. That way you can't spread rumors about them. You can't put words in their mouth. They're not talking with, hey man, none of that. They know there's cameras. They know people talk. They know there's snitches. They know people are watching them. They're very, very calculating. Very calculating. Not like what you see. Oh man, walk around with the shirt off. Oh yeah, doing the most. Nah, man, they don't need to do all that because they call shots. So, you guys, a lot of you hear these guys talk about what they're doing over here. They're telling this guy this, or they're checking this person. Man, if shit is being done, you don't see it. I was around another guy, head of one of the biggest mafia crime families. If you seen the guy, you would have thought he was maybe like somebody's grandfather. You would have never known this guy was a major dude. And like I said, I only seen him in passing. I wasn't like chopping it up with him, but I found this out through another person. And then the guy who used to hang with this individual, kind of like chaperone him around, I used to get magazines from him, DuPont registered robbery reports. I got cool because he seen I was into cars and good living type stuff, and he would share magazines with me, talk a little bit about investments and stuff like that. But this guy, man, quiet, did his thing, didn't talk to anybody, watched his little programs on TV, nobody bothered him. Heavy hitter, man, heavy hitter. He wasn't on the yard doing push-ups or anything to prove he was doing burpees or none of that bullshit. None of that. No tattoos, no nothing. And this dude was a hitter, a real hitter, And he wasn't what was considered a prison shot caller. He was a shot caller, but in prison, nobody messed with this dude. They left him alone. Had a life sentence. So, there's a totally different image when you really get around shot callers. A shot caller. It's not the image of the strongest dude on the yard, the guy who's the buffest, the guy who you see. You don't even, these people, there's people you could be around, and when that guy leaves, you will be like, somebody be like, hey, you know who that was? No, that dude right there was so-and-so, something. Like, what? Yeah, man, that dude was he was no joke. And you won't even know because they're so humble. A shot caller is humble. He's quiet, and he understands the psychology and how and interact with people and to get things done. And in order to do that in prison, which is a very testosterone masculine environment, you got to conduct yourself totally different. It's not like what you would see out here in an MMA fight or in a typical bodybuilding gym. It's not that. No, totally different character of person. So yeah, shot caller, man. It's a lot of misconceptions of a person's character, the nature of that person, but as far as what they're capable of, it's goes beyond what the people who are teaching these mental mind coaches out here and stuff like that. This shit right here, these guys, the shit that they apply, if they took that same game and applied it out here, these guys could run probably companies like BlackRock, Vanguard. They would be in that type of corporate structure, militant, disciplined, calculating, visionaries, thinking forward, not thinking for the moment. That's how a shot caller He's not thinking about writing. He's thinking about things that affect the whole demographic or group of people, and also he's coordinating this with other individuals on other yards, other institutions, sometimes across the country. Thinkers, man, not loud mouths, not rah, none of that type shit. These, very, because they got to move and be able to make shit happen in order to be on a yard and not be caught up in the hole. They got to spend as much time under the radar so that they can put shit in play. Totally different. So just want to put you up on a little game. Big Herc 916, fresh out. You know how we do it over here.
Go. Hey, what does your shirt say?
Cancel culture.
Why is it crossed out?
Because over at Fresh Out, we ain't with that bullshit. Pick you up a shirt at freshoutseries.com. Lockdown's over. Get your yard time in. Exclusively at freshoutseries.com. Ministries, we're doing a new program where we're doing a takeover of a mom pop cafe or restaurant, and we're doing a pay it forward. So we're going to offer free meals at this particular restaurant or cafe, mom pop, for a certain amount of time, and we are asking that you make a donation to pay it forward so that we can continue doing this program for other mom pop restaurants and cafes, because we know that it's hard times out here. You have a lot of people that talk the talk, but they don't walk the walk. And so we're actually walking the walk. We've been doing it for over 11 years on social media. We've been getting shadow banned. We've been getting demonetized. So we want to give back, and this is our way of giving back to helping everybody through these trying times with this economy. A lot of churches, they got $100 billion, and you don't see them out here helping the people who are in times of need, but they're still taking in the form of donations. But how's it helping the community? We want to build a community sense where we help each other. We can all overcome. You can't sit around waiting for somebody to save you. You got to save yourself. And this is the way you do it. So by us being able to do these takeovers with Fresh Out Ministries, with the mom pop restaurants and cafes, we want to be able to film, talk to you guys, get your feedback on what's going on right now in society. Hopefully you guys find it in your heart to donate. This donation, which is a pay it forward, will allow us to do other mom pops around the country eventually. But right now we're going to be in Southern California and Los Angeles, Orange County. So hey, reach out to your local businesses there. And if you are out of town in another area and you would like us to come there, if you provide the necessary means, we will come there also and do the same pay it forward. But right now, hey, if you're in locally in Los Angeles, Orange County, hit us up, freshoutseries@gmail.com. You can also make a donation on our link tree on our Instagram at Fresh Out Series.